Have you ever walked into a room and felt the energy shift? Some people drawn to you, others suddenly more reserved? A strong personality is like a fire. It provides warmth and light to those who appreciate its presence, but can be overwhelming to those who don't understand it. Some admire its glow, while others fear getting too close. In a world where many follow the crowd, standing firm in who you are is both a gift and a challenge. People are naturally drawn to confidence, but they also find it unsettling when someone refuses to conform to expectations. Your ability to make decisions without hesitation, speak with conviction, and carry yourself with quiet assurance sets you apart. Some will respect this, while others might mistake your confidence for arrogance, your decisiveness for dominance. But true strength isn't about overpowering others. It's about knowing yourself so well that you don't need to seek validation. The Stoics believe that inner peace comes from self-mastery and living according to one's principles, rather than chasing external approval. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The approval of others is a poor substitute for one's own integrity." A truly strong person doesn't waver based on how they are perceived. Instead, they remain steady, anchored in their values. However, this strength can also create unintended challenges. If you don't recognize how your presence affects others, you might misinterpret their reactions. You may question why some people hesitate to engage with you, why casual small talk sometimes feels strained, or why others seem either deeply drawn to you or noticeably cautious. It's easy to feel isolated when your natural confidence sets you apart. But the key isn't to diminish yourself. It's to understand your presence and use it with wisdom and grace. So today we're exploring 8 signs that you have a strong, even intimidating personality, and how to harness it in a way that fosters connection rather than distance. Recognizing these traits in yourself is the first step toward turning your natural strength into an asset, both in personal relationships and professional settings. Before we begin, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Now let's dive into what makes you stand out and why your presence has a bigger impact than you might realize. Number 1, you prefer reason over conformity. There is something undeniably powerful, yet often intimidating, about a person who prioritizes reason over conformity. While most people prefer to go along with the crowd, you seek clarity, not comfort. You don't accept ideas just because they're popular. You question, analyze, and pursue truth even when it's inconvenient. Imagine this. You're in a group conversation where everyone agrees just to maintain harmony. But instead of nodding along, you ask questions. Not to argue, but to understand. You point out contradictions, challenge assumptions, and suddenly the atmosphere shifts. Some appreciate your perspective, while others grow uncomfortable. Why? Because most people would rather feel certain than confront the possibility of being wrong. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. A rational mind does not yield to social pressure. You understand that truth is not decided by consensus, but by reason and evidence. However, wisdom must be wielded wisely. If logic is used without care, it can isolate rather than illuminate. People may mistake your clarity for arrogance or your independence for defiance. But being rational does not mean being rigid. It means balancing truth with understanding. This is where Stoicism offers guidance. The goal is not to dominate conversations or win debates, but to live by reason while maintaining respect for others. Instead of dismissing emotions, you acknowledge them. Instead of proving people wrong, you help them see new perspectives. A truly strong mind does not force its way. It leads by example. Some will be drawn to your clarity, others will resist it. That is not your burden to carry. As long as you stay true to your principles, your rationality will be a beacon, not just for yourself, but for those willing to seek the truth. Number 2, the validation of others isn't important to you. There is an unshakable power in those who do not depend on the approval of others. When you no longer seek validation to make decisions, you operate with a level of self-mastery that many admire but few achieve. You act not because others agree with you, but because your actions align with your values and reason. Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." True strength comes from trusting your own judgment, even when it makes you stand alone. Imagine this. A friend invites you out on a Friday night, but you decline. not because you don't value their company, but because you have a personal goal to accomplish or simply need time to recharge. You don't feel compelled to justify yourself, nor do you dwell on what they might think. Your decisions are yours alone, and you stand by them with quiet confidence. This kind of self-assurance can be intimidating. Some will see it as a sign of strength, while others may mistake it for arrogance. But as Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Most people fear rejection so much that they conform just to be accepted, but not you. Stoicism teaches that true freedom lies in focusing only on what is within our control, and the opinions of others are beyond our reach. When you stop chasing approval, you release yourself from unnecessary burdens and live according to virtue, wisdom, and integrity, not fleeting praise. But even the Stoics knew that strength must be tempered with wisdom. Independence should not turn into isolation. While you do not need approval, you still recognize the value of meaningful relationships. Seneca reminds us, we should not live as if we're destined to live forever. Life is short, and genuine human connections are among its greatest gifts. The key is to listen with respect, but remain unwavering in your convictions. By freeing yourself from external validation, you do more than strengthen your own mind. You set an example for others. In a world where many seek constant affirmation, your quiet confidence becomes a beacon of self-reliance. Instead of seeking approval, let your actions reflect your inner strength. As Marcus Aurelius put it, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Number 3, you have strong moral codes. A person with unwavering moral principles does not seek to stand out. They simply cannot do otherwise. In a world where compromise is often rewarded more than integrity, those who refuse to bend become a mirror reflecting what others lack. They are not easily swayed by temptation, nor do they yield to pressure. This makes them both deeply respected and at times feared. Imagine a leader in a company who sees through flattery and manipulation. An employee used to charming their way out of accountability quickly realizes their tactics are ineffective. The leader's unshakable ethics force the employee to confront their own shortcomings. This is the quiet yet undeniable power of someone who refuses to trade integrity for convenience. Society often celebrates those who bend the rules as pragmatic or clever, but those with strong moral codes challenge this mindset by their very existence. They do not conform to a culture of easy compromise, nor do they turn a blind eye to corruption. Instead, they hold firm, unintentionally unsettling those who have learned to justify small betrayals of conscience. Stoic philosophy teaches that integrity is not about public displays of virtue, but about an unwavering internal compass. Seneca reminds us, what is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. True character is tested not when it is easy to do the right thing, but when it is difficult, when pressure, temptation, or scrutiny demand otherwise. However, living by strong principles comes at a cost. Those accustomed to moral flexibility may perceive your steadfastness as judgment, even when you impose nothing on them. As Marcus Aurelius advised, waste no time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Your actions, not your words, define your integrity. So how do you uphold your values without alienating others? The answer lies in quiet consistency. You do not need to prove yourself, nor do you need to convince anyone else to follow your path. Integrity does not seek validation. It commands respect through presence alone. If your principles make others uneasy, remember that their discomfort is not your burden to carry. A strong moral code is not a limitation, but a declaration that you will not betray yourself for the sake of acceptance. It is a path that demands courage, but it is the only one that leads to a life of true peace, purpose, and fulfillment. Number 4, you don't mind being alone. There is a rare and quiet strength in those who are comfortable with solitude. In a world where constant connection is often mistaken for fulfillment, those who do not seek validation from others stand apart. They do not reject society, nor do they isolate themselves out of bitterness. Instead, they carefully choose who deserves their time and energy, knowing that true peace comes from within, not from the company they keep. This independence is not something one is born with. It is forged through experience, disappointment, and self-discovery. Imagine Lisa, a woman who once placed her trust in others, believing that friendships would always be a source of support. But time and again, when she needed someone most, she was met with absence or indifference. One day, after losing a job she had poured her heart into, she called her closest friend seeking comfort. Instead of empathy, she received a dismissive, "Oh, that's not as bad as you think." In that moment, Lisa understood something profound. Relying on others for strength often leads to disappointment. From then on, she chose a different path, not one of isolation, but of inner resilience. She learned to face challenges alone, not because she rejected companionship, but because she discovered that her own presence was enough. Those who embrace solitude are often misunderstood. To some, their independence is intimidating, as it forces others to confront their own reliance on external validation. People who do not fear being alone project a quiet confidence that unsettles those still searching for their sense of self. But this independence does not mean they are without a desire for connection. Deep down, they still seek genuine relationships, not built on dependency, but on mutual understanding and shared authenticity. The difference is, they do not need companionship to feel whole. They do not chase approval, nor do they compromise their peace just to fill the silence. Stoic philosophy teaches that true freedom comes from self-sufficiency. Epictetus reminds us, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. And what is more beyond our control than the actions and affections of others? To be at peace in solitude is not a weakness. It is the mark of someone who has triumphed over life's wounds. Like Lisa, you may have learned that the most reliable companion you will ever have is yourself. And when you no longer fear being alone, you are not just strong, you are unshakable. Number 5, you can have difficult conversations. Think back to the last time you were in an uncomfortable situation, when someone made a mistake, acted unfairly, or crossed a line, yet no one said a word. Maybe it was a coworker who kept missing deadlines, a friend who let you down repeatedly, or a family member who avoided responsibility. You felt frustrated, but like most people, you stayed silent. Why? Because telling the truth takes courage, and courage is rare. Now imagine a different scenario. You're in a team meeting, and a colleague's repeated delays are holding everyone back. Instead of ignoring the issue, you choose to address it, not with blame, but with purpose. You say, "I've noticed we're struggling to stay on track. Is there something we can do to support each other better?" Your words are direct, yet constructive. You hold people accountable without hostility. The room listens. Even the coworker acknowledges their shortcomings. And just like that, an uncomfortable truth leads to real progress. Stoicism teaches that truth should take precedence over comfort. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If anyone can refute me, show me I'm making a mistake, or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after." The ability to confront reality rather than avoid it is a sign of both wisdom and strength. But difficult conversations don't just happen at work. Maybe you're in a relationship where you feel disrespected, or you have a friend who takes your kindness for granted. When you finally express your honest feelings, you set boundaries, protect your self-worth, and create space for healthier connections. Of course, not everyone will appreciate your directness. Some may feel threatened, while others will admire your integrity. But either way, standing up for the truth earns you something far more valuable than approval. It earns you self-respect. The next time you find yourself in a situation where the truth needs to be spoken, don't shy away. It's an opportunity not just to assert your strength in the eyes of others, but to prove to yourself that you are someone who leads with honesty, courage, and conviction. And in that moment, you won't just be intimidating. You will be respected, valued, and truly unshakable. Number 6, you stand out in group settings. Imagine walking into a family gathering. The room is filled with conversation and laughter until you arrive. Suddenly, the energy shifts. Eyes subtly turn toward you, voices lower, and for a brief moment, you wonder, did I do something wrong? But the truth is, you haven't said a word or done anything unusual. It's simply the force of your presence. Or picture yourself at a casual dinner party. Conversations flow easily until you join the circle. You notice how people become more measured in their words, their laughter a little less carefree. A close friend approaches, but their usual warmth seems restrained, as if they are walking on eggshells around you. It's a subtle but undeniable reality. Your confidence and self-assured nature create an unintentional divide. You want to connect, to belong, but your presence can make others hesitant, unsure of how to engage with you. Stoic philosophy reminds us that true strength is not about being universally liked. It is about staying true to your values, even when you are misunderstood. Consider this. You're sharing your thoughts in a conversation, but instead of engaging in debate, others simply nod or look away, unwilling to challenge your perspective. Your quiet confidence, though not meant to intimidate, can make people feel as though they are standing in the shadow of something larger than themselves. This reality is even more painful in personal settings. When a close friend stops sharing their lighthearted stories, or a family member avoids your direct questions, it's not that they don't care, it's that they don't know how to meet your strength. But here's what you must remember. Your presence is not something to apologize for. It is a testament to your character and the quiet influence you carry. The challenge is not to diminish yourself, but to use your strength to foster connection rather than distance. Instead of softening yourself to make others comfortable, lean into your strength with empathy and patience. Be the one who listens deeply, who reassures without diminishing, who welcomes without overpowering. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Your confidence should not be a barrier. It should be a foundation upon which others feel inspired, supported, and understood. When you embrace your presence with wisdom, you transform not just how others see you, but how they see themselves in your company. Number 7, your words carry weight. Have you ever noticed that when you speak, people pause and listen more attentively? It's not out of politeness, it's because your words carry weight. Not everyone has this presence. It's not about speaking the loudest, but about speaking with intention. Your calm tone, measured delivery, and quiet confidence give your words a power that resonates deeply. Imagine sitting with a group of friends. The conversation is lighthearted, filled with laughter and playful banter. But the moment you begin to speak, the room quiets. No one interrupts, not because you demand attention, but because people sense that what you are about to say matters. It might surprise or even unsettle you. You could be sharing a simple thought, yet the reactions reveal that your words hold more influence than you realize. The impact of what you say is not just in the words themselves, but in how and when you say them. Stoic philosophy teaches that careful speech reflects self-control and wisdom. When you don't waste words, what you choose to share becomes more valuable. People sense that you've considered your thoughts carefully, making them worth listening to. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, let your words be few and well considered. However, this dynamic can create an invisible pressure. Some may find it challenging to engage in casual conversations with you, feeling the need to match your depth or precision. A friend might admit they feel tense in discussions, worried they don't have the right response. Without intending to, your presence can make people admire you, yet approach you cautiously. The key is to use this ability to build connection, not distance. When you recognize that your words carry influence, invite others into the conversation. Instead of always providing answers, ask questions. Encourage opposing viewpoints, making it clear that their perspective matters too. True confidence is not about dominating discussions, but about creating a space where others feel heard and valued. Your ability to speak with weight is a gift, but also a responsibility. When used wisely, your words uplift, inspire, and guide rather than intimidate. Stoicism reminds us that true strength is not just about influence. It is about fostering reflection and positive change in those around us. Use this power thoughtfully, and you won't just be listened to. You'll be remembered. Number 8, you are decisive and direct. The ability to make quick, clear decisions is a defining trait of a strong and confident personality. While others hesitate, second-guessing themselves, you assess the situation, make a choice, and move forward without looking back. This decisiveness not only helps you navigate life's challenges, but also positions you as a leader, someone others turn to when clarity is needed. Imagine being out with friends, and no one can decide where to eat. Instead of joining the endless debate, you say, let's go here. The food is great, and there's no wait. Your confidence moves things forward, making life easier for everyone. But sometimes this very strength can intimidate others, especially those who struggle with making firm choices. Stoicism teaches that action, not hesitation, defines strength. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." A decisive person doesn't waste energy on fear of failure. They commit to their choices and adapt when needed. However, directness must be balanced with tact. If not careful, you may come across as blunt or dismissive. The key is to invite others into the decision-making process while still leading with confidence. True decisiveness isn't about control. It's about clarity, courage, and the ability to act while others hesitate. Use it wisely, and you'll not only command respect, but also inspire others to trust in their own choices. Did you recognize yourself in these signs? A strong personality isn't a burden, it's a gift. True strength isn't about intimidating others, but leading with wisdom, standing firm in your values, and inspiring those around you. Confidence should build connections, not barriers. If this video resonated with you, leave a like and share it with someone who needs this reminder. Subscribe for more insights on mindset and personal growth. Now, I want to hear from you. Comment "Unshakable and free" if you embrace your strength. Stay true to yourself, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video.